let me show you C, C++ and some other languages which are not platform independent. What do you mean by that? C, C++ and some other languages which are not platform independent. So what does that mean? So suppose we have one platform operating system, let's say Windows. Okay, Windows operating system. And if we write C or C++, code, after writing C, C++ code, we need to compile that code. So that is, we get .obj file. Then finally we get .exe file. In case of C and C++, we get .exe file, executable code. So suppose we write C, C++ code on Windows platform. In order to look at the output or in order to execute that program, we compile it. So we get .obj, and after some time we get .exe file and we execute that program. Now the same program I want to run on different platform. Let's say that platform is Linux. And basically, when you get obj, that's a process of compilation. So on Windows C++ code, you first write, then you compile, and then you create exe, and then you execute that exe. Now the same program, suppose I want to run on Linux. Can I run first of all? Yes, I can run. No doubt about that. Same program I can run on Linux. But for that, what I have to do? I have to take this source code. I have to copy this source code to this different machine. Source code. Source code is a code which is the program. When you write any code in any programming language, let that be C, C++, Java, Python, whatever, that is called a source code. So when you take this source code on Linux, you need to compile it as per Linux platform. Why it is so? Because for Linux platform, C, C++ compiler is different. C, C++ compiler is different for different platforms. So when you want to run the same code on Linux platform, you need to first copy that source code on that machine and then compile it as per Linux. And then only you can execute it. So we can say C, C++ are platform dependent languages. Why platform dependent languages? Because in order to run a particular code on that platform, you need to first compile and then you can run. That's why they are called as platform dependent languages. Now Java is platform independent. When Java was introduced, there was a hype. Oh, platform independent language has come. So what is platform independent? You can see in this PowerPoint presentation how Java is platform independent. I repeat again, all these files are there in day one, which I will share with you at the end. Okay. So how Java is platform independent? Let's see. Suppose we have one Windows operating system machine, Windows machine. On that we have something called as JRE. We will see afterwards in detail. JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment. JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine. and API stands for Application Programming Interface. Now, at present, you understand that JRE is something which is required to execute Java code. Suppose you have a laptop, you all have a laptop, and that laptop has got some operating system, maybe Windows or Macintosh or Linux. Now, if you want to run Java application on that laptop, what you should have on that laptop? You should have JRE for that respective platform. Suppose you have Windows on your laptop, so you must have JRE for Windows. So JRE is something which is required compulsory for that platform to run Java. So we have JRE. Now we have myclass.java. Every programming language has got some rule. When you write source code, suppose you write source code in C programming, so you must save the file by say something sample.c extension. If you write source code in C++, you must have extension .cpp. So for example, sample.cpp. In Java, when you write source code, the rule is source code must have an extension .java. So for example, sample.java. Here in our example, we have myclass.java. That is a source code. Some program has been written in Java. Now, as usual, like every programming language, you have to compile source code, because when you compile source code, there are two advantages for two main purposes to you compile source code. Compiler checks whether compilation errors are there or not. And second thing, compiler makes your code ready for execution. So here also in Java also you compile the code. Now in Java, when you compile the code, you get bytecode, and that is myclass.class. I repeat, when you write a code in Java, it is called as source code. That extension has to be .java. When you compile using Java compiler, you get myclass.class, and it is called as bytecode, Java bytecode. So Java bytecode is nothing but compiled version of that source code. Now, you can run that bytecode directly on the JRE. Remember, in Java, we don't get exe file the way we get in C or C++. We get only bytecode, that is .class, which can be executed directly on the JRE. Okay, so we have myclass.java. We compile that, we get bytecode, and that bytecode can be run on any JRE for that particular operating system. Now, once we run our bytecode on JRE, we will get to see the output. What if same program I want to run on different platform? Remember when I discussed C and C++, what did I tell you? I told you that you have C++ code which you execute on Windows. Now the same code you want to execute on Linux, you need to recompile as per that platform. You need to recompile. Since you need to recompile as per that platform, C and C++ are called as platform dependent language. Now so far in Java, we have compiled code and we have executed that on Windows. What if the same code I want to run on some other platform like Macintosh or Linux? What if you would like to run this code on some other platforms? Now we have Linux platform. So obviously JRE will be there on Linux. JRE is different for different platform. JRE is different for different platform. So we have Linux platform. On that we have JRE. And now what can be done? How can you run that previous code on this Linux? Good news here is you don't have to recompile as per Linux compiler, because Java compiler is just one. It generates bytecode, and the good news is that bytecode can run on any platform provided JRE has to be there. So same code I want to run on Linux. What I need to do? I need to take that bytecode, only bytecode, and run. I don't have to recompile. This is the reason Java is called as platform independent language. Compile once and run anywhere. Anywhere means any platform, provided JRE has to be there on that platform. Run. Directly run. Compile once and run anywhere on any platform. Suppose I have one more operating system, Macintosh. So obviously what should be there as per Macintosh? JRE. JRE should be there as per Macintosh. Now, once again, how can you run that same program? You just need to take bytecode and run that bytecode on JRE. So compile once and run anywhere. This is the reason Java is called as platform independent language. I hope this difference between platform dependence and platform independence is clear. Why C++ languages are called as platform